Speaker's Corner aboard the Villa Vie Odyssey, hosted by Kit Cassingham.
Good evening. Speaker's Corner is here again. Are you guys ready to learn a new language? Good, because Lila's going to teach it to you. Oh, and Tony, I'm so glad you're here because I was worried that you weren't in your chair. It's Mark, Tony's chair. So tonight we'll get a quick tour through Cockney slang. Rhyming slang, to be more precise. Exploring it from its London roots, its colourful history, and how everyday phrases have become playful code in the city streets. So help me welcome Lyla Anderton to talk about from bow bells to belly laughs, the joy of Cockney slang.
Thank you.
Good evening, Lyla.
Well, Kit's actually told you all about it now, so that's it. Bye. Thank you to all 7 of you who bothered to show up. Did you forget the Harry Potter film was on? I know the VT promised you belly laughs, but I'll be happy if you're just mildly amused. You know, there's no pressure. So today I am going to be talking about Cockney rhyming slang, which is a dialect which comes from East London. And for those of you who don't know, a dialect is a variety of a language spoken by a specific group of people, usually defined by region, class, or cultural background. Saying that, there is a study in the UK which indicates that cows develop regional moo accents. And it varies based on the herd, the environment, and their social group. So I mean, whoever got funding for that is a genius, let's face it. Okay, so these are a few examples of Cockney rhyming slang. I'm going to go through a bit of the history for you so you understand where it came from. But these are some of the phrases that are used in Cockney rhyming slang. I won't describe them all to you at the moment. We're going to go through and learn about it together. So, first of all, what is a Cockney? A Cockney is somebody who was born within the sound of the Bow Bells, and this is a famous church in London. It's the Church of Mary Le Bow. It was founded in 1080, and it's located in a place called Cheapside, which is one of the oldest thoroughfares in London. It's been rebuilt several times after things like the Great Fire of London and wars and things like that. So if you're born within the sound of the Bow Bells, you're considered to be a true Londoner and a Cockney. Okay? So this is basically a nursery rhyme that I found which talks about the Bow Bells. Let me just play this for you.
Oranges and lemons, say the bells of St. Clements. You owe me 5 farthings, say the bells of St. Martin's. When will you pay me, say the bells of Old Bailey. When I grow rich, say the bells at Shoreditch. When will that be, say the bells of Stepney. I'm sure I don't know, says the great bell at Bow.
So you'd think, being a nursery rhyme for children, that would end there, quite a sweet little ditty, but no, it goes on.
Here comes the candle to light you to bed. Here comes the chopper to chop off your head. Chip chop, the last man's head.
So I think that gives you a little bit of an idea of what English humour is like. I mean, our poor kids. Anyway, so here we are. This is London. I'll let me see if I can point to it. So I live right down the bottom here. See that tiny little island? I live just above that in England. And so it's about 2 hours away from Southampton, Portsmouth, where I live, to get to London, just to give you a little bit of an idea of the size. And London is made up of 32 boroughs, together with the City of London. So the Greater London is classed as the whole of London, the City of London, and then there are 32 other boroughs. They were all created at the same time, which was the 1st of April 1965 by the London Government Act. and each borough has its own council, so each has a political party working on its behalf. So I'll just give you an idea of, these are some of the more popular political parties. So Barking and Dagenham, they're under Labour, Bexley is under the Conservative Party, we also have the Liberal Democrats and the Green Party, but as with our nursery rhymes, in Britain we don't do things by halves. We also have the Monster Raving Loony Party. And I swear to you, this is an official political party. It was established in 1982 by a musician named David Such. This is him. And he's also known as Screaming Lord Such. He's the 3rd Earl of Harrow, so he's allowed to be eccentric. And his aim was to bring humour to politics, and the party often proposes absurd and whimsical policies. And here's a few for you. So they want to replace border control with doctors' receptionists because there's no way anyone's getting in or out in a timely manner. Yeah, they want a minister of chocolate, which I would vote for that. They also suggest that all MPs sit in stocks during surgeries so we can show them how we feel about them, if they can dodge the fruit. So, and they want to introduce a court of human lefts to balance out and provide equality from the court of human rights. So coming back to London, the part that's outlined here, this is the East End. So this is the bit we're talking about. This is where Cockneys are coming from. And that began to emerge in the Middle Ages. The area was notorious for being deeply impoverished, overcrowded, and it had a lot of social problems. And another major theme of the East End history has been immigration, both inwards and outwards. And I think that is because of the low income. People kind of come there to start over in the UK. So, this little guy here, these are supposed to be birds migrating, but this little guy in the top left, he is in for a shock if he thinks he's going to need sunglasses in the UK. So I've just added a little pack-a-mac there for him. So, looking at immigration, in the 1961 census, London was populated by about 98% British white people, and only 2.3% were from an ethnic minority. Today, that has changed a lot, and we're now looking at nearly 80% of the population is still white British, but now 22% are foreign-born. And I wanted to add this in because it mentions white British, white other, Asian, black, mixed race, and I really want to know what other is. So I thought maybe one of you would know, but no.
Hispanic, maybe?
Possibly. So after all that, getting back to what a Cockney is. So Cockney is someone born in the East End of London within the sound of the Bow Bells, and Londoners have a very distinct accent, as well as using phrases specific to Cockney scattered into their daily speech. And we have some famous Cockneys, but my particular favourite is Adele. And I'm just going to give you an example of her Cockney accent so you know what we're talking about. This interview was taken before she learned to speak a little bit slower and more clearly. So let me know afterwards how much of what she said you actually understood. Okay. Here we go.
And I got to meet Beyonce a couple of times, which the first time I really held it together. I was like, thanks for having me to show B, rare. The thing is, I was in her dressing room and I was like, there was only a little curtain separating us while she had her makeup done, and I started like going, I don't think I can do this, and she would have heard it all. And then she popped out, so I put on a brave face, but the second time I went out on a balcony and got on my hands and knees and cried.
All right, there we go.
I caught on my knees and cried.
Excellent. That's probably more than I got the first time.
Talk about Beyonce at the beginning.
Yeah, Beyonce.
Something about curtains.
Curtains, yeah.
So that's about 12 words we got out of that. So, yeah, this is what she actually said. I got to meet Beyonce a couple of times, which first time I really held it together. I was like, thanks for having me as Shobi, rah, rah, rah. Then she says something not in any earthly language that I know of. The thing is, I was in her dressing room and she said, there's only a little curtain separating us while she's having her makeup done. And I started going, I don't think I can do this. And she would have heard all of it. And then she popped out, so I put on a brave face, but the second time I went out onto a balcony and got on my hands and knees and cried. So I hope that clears that up for you. So, throw in some Cockney rhyming slang into that, and it's a wonder any of us know what they're talking about. So yes, moving on. In order to get a really good idea of how Cockney rhyming slang actually started to become part of the London language, and I'm pretty sure you've probably forgotten that that was the title of the talk by this point, we need to take a look at ye olde timeline. Okay? So we're going back to 1720 at this point, and we didn't have a police force in the UK in 1720. The law enforcement system was actually in the hands of private citizens and single individuals, with pretty much no intervention from the state at all. So private citizens had the right and the duty to prosecute crimes in which they were involved, or if you were just standing nearby when they happened. So at the cry of murder or stop thief, literally everyone was entitled and obliged to join the pursuit. That was pretty much the state of our justice system at that time. So once the criminal had been apprehended, they could be taken to parish constables or the night watchman, and they were pretty much the only public figures by the set up by the state. They were typically part-time and local, and they would make the arrests. As a result, the state set a reward to encourage citizens to arrest and prosecute offenders instead of setting up a police service. So the first of such rewards was established in 1692 at the amount of £40 for the conviction of a highwayman, and in the following years it was extended to burglars, coiners and other forms of offence. So that £40 in 2025 equated to about £150 to £200. We're going to take questions at the end, sorry. So the reward was then increased in 1720 when the government offered £100 for the conviction of a highwayman, which equates to just under £26,000 in today's money given inflation. So yeah, hefty sum. Although the offer of such a reward was conceived as incentive to capture dangerous criminals and allow them to be prosecuted, it actually became a serious business for certain people in the community, and in their minds, why should they go and capture dangerous criminals when they could orchestrate crimes themselves? These people were known as thief takers, and they're very enterprising individuals. Really, they became known as they became known to work to set up with gangs basically, and they would bribe prison officials to get their gang members released. But what they would also do is set up robberies or assaults, grab the gang member, get him arrested and claim the reward. So yes, so a lot of people saw it as more of a business opportunity than a legal question. This chap here, Jonathan Wild, he operated on both sides of the law for quite some time, and he became infamous at the time for staging robberies so that he could then claim the reward. He exploited a strong public demand for action during the major 18th century crime waves in London, and in the absence of any effective police force, he was in great demand. So as a powerful gang leader himself, he became a master manipulator of the legal system. He would collect the rewards for valuables which he himself had arranged to be stolen. And then he would bribe prison guards to release his colleagues, or he would blackmail anyone who crossed him so he could get away with his shady dealings with the police. So at the time we had absolutely no police force. He had a very good track record of solving these crimes for obvious reasons. So in 1749, Sir John Fielding, he was a magistrate. He created a new law enforcement team which was known by the public as the Bow Street Runners, because they were the law enforcement officers of the Bow Street Magistrates Court. So the force was set up to combat high rates of corruption and mistaken arrests caused by these thief takers. And Sir John Fielding wanted to regulate, formalise and legalise the process of capturing and convicting criminals at that time. So the runners were paid by the government, so that they were literally the first police force that we had in place. And these are those gentlemen, these are the Bow Street Runners, and they're considered to be London's first professional police force. They consisted of 6 gentlemen and a horse. But actually their innovative methods and thorough investigative work laid the path for police investigation even today. So they're considered to be our first police force. And then Sir Robert Peel was our British Conservative statesman. He was twice Prime Minister in the UK. He's regarded as the father of modern British policing owing to his foundation of the Metropolitan Police. And that happened in 1829. They were formed and they were given formal training. And then the Bow Street Runners was disbanded 10 years later, but those personnel were merged into the Metropolitan Police. Now, this is where we get back to Cockney rhyming slang and how it came about. Basically, one of our first examples of Cockney rhyming slang, in order for criminals not to be overheard and understood by the police, they started using a covert language, which was the Cockney rhyming slang. So our first example of this is Robert Peel set up the Metropolitan Police. You shorten Robert to Bobby, and we call our police Bobbies. So that's the first the first attempt at Cockney rhyming slang. So in Cockney rhyming slang, there's usually at least 2 words which make up the rhyme, and the rhyming word is often dropped during speech. And the reason for that is it makes the term harder to decipher. So I'm going to give you some examples of this, and then we're going to try and figure some out ourselves. Don't leave. Okay, so this is the first one, plates of meat. And to give you an example, I might say, I've got to get off me plates. Plates of meat. Feet. Well done. So next one, loaf of bread. So we drop the bit that rhymes. The bit that rhymes is bread. Head, yes. So yeah, use your loaf, use your head.
Use your loaf.
Yeah, that's a common expression in the UK. So next one, Barney Rubble, and rubble is the rhyming word. Trouble, excellent, well done. So yeah, so they were having a Barney, we would quite often say, and that means they're having a spot of trouble. Yes, Barney Rubble, yes. Yeah, because the language has evolved as, as society's evolved. So. Here's some more for you. So porkies, porky pies, lies. Frog and toad, road. Butcher's hook, look. Daisy roots for boots. And if someone's doing bird, it's bird lime, they're doing time. Okay, there's a few. So this is just to lull you into a false sense of security. So here we have, so if we had a £10 note, we call it, well, the Cockneys would call it a Pavarotti. Any idea why? Because it's a tenner. Sorry, that was a tough one. So next, £500 is known as a monkey. Any ideas why that might be? No. I didn't know this one either. It originates from British soldiers' experience in India, where a 500 rupee note featured a monkey. So that's where that came from. Then we have £1,000 is known as a bag of sand. No? Grand, that's it, yeah. So we would call it a grand, but it's basically a grand amount of money is where that kind of came from. So now I'm going to let you guys have a go. I'll talk you through. So let's shed some light on some of this Cockney rhyming slang, shall we? So if I say, all right, me old China, what might be the rhyming word for China? China plate. She's good, she's good. China plate, yes, mate. So you might say, all right, me old China. China plate, mate. Well done. Okay. Wow. Next one. I haven't got a Scooby. It's pretty much. So Scooby-Doo, yep. You got it. Well, it's just one of those things, I think, as the language has expanded and media's added to it. So yeah, I haven't got a Scooby, I haven't got a clue. This one's a bit of a tougher one, so we would say something like the old artful ain't paid his rent yet.
Dodger.
Artful dodger. Oh, well done, you guys. So yeah, artful dodger. So what might the artful dodger be? Lodger. Brilliant. So old artful ain't paid his rent yet. Artful dodger, lodger. You guys are too good for me.
Whoa. No, that's still unbelievable.
So that was short and sweet, but thank you so much for watching. I'm so pleased that you all came out to see.
Okay, anybody have a question? You have to say it in Cockney. Hold on, we gotta wait for the microphone. You know the rule, Maura. Come on. I didn't know how to say that in Cockney.
What is highwayman? What is that?
A highwayman, basically they would usually be on horseback with guns, and they would stop coaches and rob coaches or people who were travelling the coaches of their riches. It was usually done in forested areas or, way out of town. Highway robbery. Exactly. Highway robbery.
Okay.
An Aussieism? Yank,
Hold on.
the septic tank?
She's got a question back there.
An Aussieism?
What's-
Yank, the septic tank?
Oh, I haven't heard that one.
So this was wild. This was absolutely wild. So I assume that you grew up in, are you a Cockney?
No, I'm not. But to be honest with you, it's probably more down to social media and TV that a lot of people have kind of taken on a lot of the Cockney, the terms. And I grew up knowing a lot of these phrases. I think a lot of people did, probably, like I say, mostly from TV.
I mean, so did you actually say, I haven't got a Scooby?
Yes, we do use certain phrases, definitely, yeah. I mean, I've never used plates of meat before, but yeah, to say, oh, I haven't got a Scooby, or they're having a Barney, those are kind of common phrases for a lot of us.
Never heard of
Really?
any of these. No, that was crazy.
You're not very British, Chris.
But I guess that, you guys all have, like Smitty was saying about the Aussieisms, and, everywhere has something that I wouldn't understand, but you would, so.
I'm an Australian and we watch a lot of British TV.
Yeah.
So therefore, all of those people from the 1960s and 70s
Yeah.
London television shows all would speak like that.
Yes. Yeah. Only Fools and Horses, EastEnders, there's probably loads of them that you may have heard of. Sorry? The Rag Trade, yeah. Yes, Doctor Who, yeah.
Any more questions? Have you guys learned all this Cockney already? All right. Well, then I guess you're free to go. How would you say go have a drink?
Yes. Yeah, wet your whistle, yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your time.